Okay, hello YouTubers. Now today we got a tiger in the tank. Yeah, almost. We're gonna make a Gearshift pen. And yeah, I thought it will fit pretty good because we get a Bengal tiger free of charge from Penkits Direct. Very nice. Here, as you can see, their website. Very nice. Now this video, it's not sponsored by them. They just asked me if I could make a video on pen making. I would have made a video anyway, and they told me they can sponsor me the kit and the blank, and the blank I already got for my big order for free. Now it was, for me, it was clear that I'm gonna use a Gearshift pen just because it's that awesome, and I said I'm gonna make a video for them. If they like it, they can sponsor me the pieces. If not, then not. So I'm gonna show you how you can make this pen. Already took out the brass rod. This one is here. Now we're gonna make a blank, length of this, and yeah, should be not a problem at all. We have way enough material. It looks very awesome. The red, I think, is very nice. It's a blood red, dark red, really awesome. And first of all, we're gonna drill the hole. And what I always do, I make the hole on the lathe because I don't like it to stand it up and drill down. That's not really what I like. I really like to clamp it into the chuck and turn the piece and drill in the middle, so it's very centered, the hole. That's very nice. And then I'm gonna cut it off. So I drill depth plus 2 millimeters, and then I'm gonna cut it off, and then I'm gonna clamp it onto my bushings. Okay, I hope you have a nice vision down there. Now, as I said here, I'm gonna take away a bit of material so I can clamp it way more centered. I'm always letting it stick out a bit more, about 2 centimeters more than I will need. Just clamp pretty tight. This acrylic, it's very sturdy. Yeah, and even with acrylic, always wear safety goggles. It's clamped good. First thing, I'm going to grind it flush, drill the hole, and turn it a little bit so it's a bit rounder and the corners are gone. And yeah. And it already starts looking extremely nice. It's a very awesome blank, I have to say. Thanks again very much for this free blank. 57 millimeters about. So 60 millimeters we're gonna drill the hole. And that's it. Fits in perfectly. Yep. And here this surface is already good. And I'm going to take the cutoff tool, or my simple woodworking tool made out of knife steel, self-made turning tool. Very easy, very nice. Okay, and I'm going to cut off the length of the piece of the blank. And this we have left over. Next time I'm going to clamp it this way in the chuck and make another pen out of this piece. And it's also free of charge. Okay, now stop with the nonsense. I'm going to push in the brass rod here, flush with the back side. Now I can see it's perfectly lengthened. What I'm going to do now is clamp it in the chuck again to make this side flush, because the cutoff always leaves some burr. As I can see, it's perfectly lengthened, absolute perfect. Yep, absolute perfect. Okay, now next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on the mandrel, but my mandrel is made, my bushings are made without a brass tube, so I need to get the brass tube out and put it on the mandrel, but I'm going to show you. Okay, now this is my simple homemade mandrel. It's very easy, just a threaded rod with a core. I clamped it in my lathe and drilled a center hole inside, and here is a steel piece with a center hole. I welded on a little rod to get it when clamped in the vise. This rod is into the chuck and it takes the power with it, the turning motion, and this is just screwed in here. So this rod you can exchange however you want, the lengthening of the pieces as needed. And as you see, the brass rod doesn't fit over here, it's exactly the same size as the brass rod is, and that makes this piece fit extremely perfect up on here. It's almost a press fit. No, it's a perfect fit, not a press fit and not a loose fit, it's just a perfect fit. And here I got a nice aluminum wheel, just made a round wheel with some filings and pressed a bolt nut inside, and that's it. This is my simple, easy to use mandrel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp a rod into the chuck, and I'm making a tip onto it so it's perfectly centered. If turned, it's extremely perfect centered. And then I'm going to take it here and here also with the turning tip I showed you before, and then we can go on. But what I have to watch here, I made my mandrel for 12 millimeters, so I have there are lots and lots of very different pens outside there, and this one is made for 12 millimeters, but in our case here for the Gearshift pen we need 12.6 on the one side and 13 millimeters on the other side. You always have to measure the pieces because it could be a little bit different from pen to pen. It always depends on what kind of pattern, motif, whatever you have onto your pen. And there are very lots of different kits, as I said. Okay, now the length is perfect. I'm gonna make the shape. And as I said, this rod comes between the bites here, or I don't know how they call it exactly. It comes into the chuck, and then I'm gonna clamp it up here. Tighten this and clamp it in between the tips a little bit, and it's running perfectly. That's what we want and what we need. Otherwise the pen would be for the trash can, because if it's not centered then you will feel it on the pen, and that's not very good. That's really cheap. work with craftsmanship. So that's one main thing you need to notice. Always have it perfectly centered. That's very important. Okay, now I'm gonna just turn it down to 13 millimeters, and then we're gonna make this slightly taper, and that's it. We have 15.6. Okay, I'm going to take away 2.6 millimeters, then we're exactly at 13. And that's it. That's all it got. It looks so awesome. Okay, you have to see this. Really, really awesome. Here we got some extreme fine shavings. They're thinner than hairs, I guess. And you can really see how the shavings increase in thickness as we go up here. They always get thicker and thicker and thicker. And here in the back side we have 0.4 millimeter shavings. And here they're a few hundredths of a millimeter. So we get a really awesome taper. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to polish it up on the buffing wheel. Okay, now just going to loosen the nut, the bolt here. And that's it. That's our blank. Very nice. And as I said, I'll polish it up and round off the corners, but that will happen by itself, so I do not round them out in before. That's always happening on the buffing wheel. And as you see, it already looks extremely nice. It's a very nice blank. Thank you again. Cannot tell it often enough. Really appreciate it. Very nice. Okay, now I would call that a real nice shine. So I'm gonna take it a little bit more to the light. Hope you can see that. Yeah, I guess you can see that. It's awesome shiny. Very awesome shiny. It's nice blank. This acrylic. Acrylic is always nice to polish. It's extremely fine to work with. So it's a soft material, but not too soft. But it's hard, durable, very nice. And now we're gonna finish the pen by pressing it together. My vise. Now here at my vise, first thing I'm gonna do, take the gear knob and take the brass rod, and I'm gonna push this up here. And you can make it on many different ways. A lot of ways lead home, or lead to Rome, or whatever you wanna say, lead to the goal. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push it up here until it's flush completely. Now I'm gonna shove up the blank, and you could glue it, you don't need to glue it. I'm gonna do it with a tiny drop of CA glue. I'm gonna show you. So what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna fit my blanks onto the pipes here, I'm just gonna put a tiny drop of super glue here in the back, and then I'm gonna shove it up. And as you saw, I already was almost too slow. I have to say, it looks extremely awesome. And it fits perfectly, it's absolute flush. And now we're gonna press in this piece, and I could already press it by hand. Yeppa. Yeah, real nice. Normally I would use my vise for this because it needs a lot of power. And what I'm gonna miss is a spring. Did I lose the spring? Oh no, here it is. Oh, okay. Just thought I lost the spring, but I didn't. It's a very long spring for this piece, but I guess that's because the gear shift knob has such a long way, and therefore you need a nice long spring to make it work. Now we're gonna push in this piece here. We're gonna switch to neutral. Yeppa. And that's how it looks. And as I thought, in the third and fourth gear the tip also disappeared completely, and fifth and rear gear or reverse gear also. And here the fit with the 13 millimeters is it's just so perfect. It's exactly on the radius point. That's what we want. That's exactly what we want. Here it's completely flush. You can't feel anything. As you see, it's really awesome flush. And on the other side also, here it's perfectly going to the radius, so it's absolutely smooth. They get packed up all the single parts and pieces so they do not scratch each other, and that's very nice. Yeah, it's also pretty heavy pan, but not as heavy as some of the other ones. And as you said, for playing around, it's very awesome. It's just fucking funny. It's really funny. And you already have the gears written on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reverse. That's also an very awesome aspect or feature of this pen. As I said, the details are very nice. Really nice detail piece. Yeah. Okay, now I thought when I'm on a run I'm gonna go on with more pens, so this is the first one. And here I took a line piece. It's also a twist pen, filigree it's called. Very nice. Also did the Nautilus pen, also a very nice piece. And what I did is a slim line, a pretty easy one, with mammoth ivory. And it didn't turn out as nice as I would loved it to be, or as I would liked it, but it's ivory and you can see a little bit of a pattern. I don't think that you can see it in the camera, but it's barely visible, so you need to know that it's ivory, but it's really nice. And this one has a stylus also for touch screens. And I made myself a pen, a workshop pencil, I mean, also with lime, same as this piece here. And now I don't have any lime anymore, so these pieces are gone. Yeah, but I think it's turned out really nice. And as I said, a sharpener is in the back here, so pretty nice piece. Now these are all 5 pieces I got today, and I think that's pretty good. So for only a few hours of working, I think that's pretty okay. Most time consuming was this one, and the other most time consuming was, I say, this one, then this one, then this one, and this one was the easiest one, I have to say. So because it's only a straight flute, that's very easy to make. And this one I made a slight line inside. I take an aquamarine for this one, fits from the color perfectly. Yeah, now I hope you liked this video. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos, and thanks for watching.